All right, so Lagos, remember, send all your messages. You guys always send. Sometimes the messages take over the show, and that is fine. Send them 0809 444 for your WhatsApp messages. Also on Twitter, hashtag Business Express 981. So, up and down we go on our darling stock market. Yesterday we're down 0.4%, 36,333.8 points is where we closed so far this year. We're down by 4.9%, so I guess we're basically down by 5%. Our gainers and losers: 22 gainers, 21 losers. Air service and logistics, they were the top gainer, up by 10%. They closed the day at 4 naira 95 kobo. Cap PLC closed at 28 naira 35 kobo. They were the top loser, down by 10%. We are still at 361 naira to the dollar. Market cap for the, if somebody asked us yesterday I was asking, okay, look, we also want to hear about the market cap. We're at 13.2 trillion naira is where the market cap is. Ayo, we're starting things with I guess, Ayo, what's happening in the power sector with
Okay.
guys?
So for the 1,000 meters will be rolled out. But so looking at distribution, you look at the fact that currently as at the end of 2017, full year 2017, they had about 860,000 customer units at the end of 2017. But the number of metered customer units were just about 220,000. Yeah, about 220,000 at the end of Q1 2018.
Okay.
So by the time you compare that, you see that the number of metered customers was just about 30%, just
Right.
about 30%. Yes. So by the time you comparing it to industry average, that's looking at the average for the 11 discos. The average for 11 discos is about 21.3%. So
Wow.
by the time you compare it, relatively, you say they are doing well compared to the top rank. You look at them, they are number 3 on the list. So
Okay.
Eco Disco is number 2. They have about 35% of their customers metered. Benin Disco is the most efficient in that regards. They have about 37% of their. So so for Abuja Disco, this is quite important and good for them. Okay, so when you look at this new 222,000 meters that are being rolled out, and then you add it to their current numbers, so they'll be having about 482,000 meters, and that will mean that they would have metered 56% of the number of customers they had as at the end of 2017. So that's quite good for them, because when you look at on the part of the consumers and even on the part of Abuja Disco,
Yeah.
it's not really been favorable for them, because when you look at, okay, the industry average at 21%, it means 79% of customers within the the electricity sector, they actually are charged based on the estimated billing system.
Right.
So really, and what obtains really in that space is most of the 79% don't even pay 50% of what they actually build, because
Right.
so I mean, we've all passed through the estimated billing system at one point in time. The official brings the 50,000 naira bill, and then you just negotiate and pay some 10,000, push the 40,000 to the next month,
Right.
brings another 50,000, add up to the, so, and then these are some of the leakages of revenue for the discos,
Right.
and it's really affecting the value chain.
Right.
So this Abuja Disco taking a step in this regards, in terms of trying to get their customer units metered, is quite positive for them, and they are doing it in conjunction with one of the companies that was appointed by the government under
To
the
produce
the
to
MET.
give
Yeah,
out the meters,
yes,
yeah.
and that's a consortium. Yeah, so they are working with them to do that, and they promise to deliver in time. So hopefully they're able to do that, and it will be welcome for them. But I would say this is long overdue. So in that regards, we will say that it's not so much like a good news, but
Right.
at least it's
It's
better.
something.
It's better late than
Okay,
never.
I heard a rumor. You know, like as I said, what's today? Today is Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah,
It is
okay, so you
Wednesday.
don't have rumor, gossip, and innuendo on grapevine
No,
today.
no,
Well,
no.
I've
That
always
was
said if there's
yesterday.
sports gist and entertainment gist and rumors, there must be business rumors as well. But
Okay.
so this is unsubstantiated. I don't have anything to back this up. I understand that it is rumored that it would cost $1 billion to meter everybody in Nigeria.
Okay,
I
well,
don't, I don't know if you've heard
well,
that
it's
figure, but this is what I heard,
yeah, yes,
right?
definitely. That has been the rumors out there,
Yeah,
but really, we can't really put a figure to that, like
right.
an estimate figure. But definitely, we know it will require huge capital investment. One thing that is upsetting is why most of the discos have struggled to keep up with that.
Mm.
So and then so I think is I look at the quality of what train unit, every customer unit in Kenya. They did
Right.
it in conjunction with the World Bank period of time, and they were able to successfully do that. So I had to begin to look at something like that. This in the hands of the discos, they might struggle. I mean, they're operating at a loss. Abuja issues disco as that last result that was available in 2016 loss of about 44 billion naira.
Chai.
I mean, they can't continue like that.
Oh boy, oh boy. But anyway, it looks like there's a lot of things on the government's plate, but it just looks like the Kenya example, there just should be a singular focus of just addressing this power thing once and for all
Yes,
and getting it
yes.
through. But it's just pretty expensive. All right, thank you for that. All right, we move to oil. With Trump and Iran are in the news again. And again, I keep that Nigerians should pray for conflict in the
Yeah.
Middle East,
Yeah.
so like to help us. But what's the latest? We're seeing that the sanctions, I think, have.
They've come. I mean, we right from when Emmanuel Macron came to the union, Donald Trump, not to pull out of the deal, the earlier deal.
Mm.
We expected that Donald Trump would, that the US would restate back the sanctions on Iran, and rightly we have seen that happen. So we noted at the beginning of that developments in the Middle East would really affect what goes on in the market. But when we look at for Iran, so on that this demand supply gap, we've seen the uptick in prices and the rally that we've seen so far. Currently, Brent crude is around $74. Which is quite which for us from my own perspective, we run produces just around 3.8 million barrels per day.
Okay.
If it were affected, then we would really know that it will have an impact on the oil market. But China is one of the largest consumers of oil, consuming about 12.8 million barrels per day as at June 20 this year, June this year. So when you look at that, China currently they're in a trade war with the US, and I believe the Chinese government will see this as an opportunity to antagonize the US government.
Right.
So they might decide to import more of Iranian oil. So if China, for example, decides that they want to import all because they consume about 12 million barrels, so they can absorb the 3.8 produced by Iran.
Right.
So I mean, it's something that could happen. And then we also saw at the last OPEC meeting where producers, now that when they saw that prices have come up and then they don't want prices to then they said that okay, let's ramp up production a bit. We've seen Russia ramp up production a lot,
Right.
although we've seen a cutback on Saudi Arabia from the production reduced by about 300,000 barrels per day in Saudi Arabia in June. So, but we've seen a ramp up in Russia. We've seen Nigeria improving production. I mean, we are actively trying to improve production to the current high price that we have. So we might see all this net of the exit of the Iran 3.8 million barrels from the oil. So might not really see that.
Okay, good stuff there. All right, we have a question, Kayode?
Let's see. Olamide says, do you guys think the political brouhaha that has besieged the nation has affected the stock market in any way, especially the negatives in the past few days?
Okay, well, we try to avoid politics on this show, but I guess it's a hard thing to do. Has any of that fed into the markets?
Well,
would you say?
definitely investors have priced in the fact that Nigeria will conduct elections next year, and all instability as regards that will begin to come up. So definitely we can't rule out the fact that elections are coming. That we can't rule that out. So it's really it's a big determinant in determining how investors play market for investors, pull out.
Right.
Because okay, the US Treasury yields are rising, so I mean it's a safer avenue for me. Let me just pull out my funds. I've made some money. Let me just pull out and wait till after the elections and see how the political environment in Nigeria will be. I mean, in terms of the fundamentals of the market, nothing is wrong with the fundamentals of the market.
Okay.
It's just the sentiment from.
Okay, but conversely, as to be opportunistic, I think some people will say, okay, this is a good time to probably get in.
Definitely, yes, this is a good time for you to come into the market. I mean, people missed out on that in 2015, 2016. They were running away from the market, and then when the rally came in, some people joined too late. Some even joined as late as beginning of this year, and they got their fingers burnt.
Right.
So you need to come in early enough. This is the time for you to come in. Stock prices are cheap, and you can really expect them to.
Okay, from this one from Benga Kama says it's deliberate policy by the discos not to give customers prepaid meters, and we have local manufacturers of such meters. So what is the excuse? He further said,
okay,
I have a prepaid meter since it was installed. Arguments of how to share NEPA bill disappeared among the tenants, and I don't pay for what I don't consume.
So he's
Meter every house
okay.
in
So
Nigeria.
his Benga is for the meter in every house, but I don't. That wouldn't make sense though for the discos to deliberately not to provide meters now because well, okay, I kind of see where he's coming from. I think they can overcharge.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
can
yeah.
overcharge, but what they're overcharging, they're not getting money for it.
Right.
They're just booking it down in receivables. I mean, most of the discos, by the time you look at their financial statements, most of them have heavy, very heavy receivables. I
Right.
mean, Abuja discovered about 27 billion in receivables. That was about 40 to 50% of their total assets.
Wow. Wow.
So, I mean, most of all the discos like that, they have so much receivables, and there's really
And just to help our listeners, account receivables is
okay in
what you're
terms what we're
expecting.
expecting. Yes, so the customers that own them, the
Right.
customer units that own them.
So you just book it in that
electricity, yes.
money that's expected. Okay, Kylie, how much more time we got?
We got 2 minutes.
Okay, good. Let's take the messages. Let's go. Let's
Okay,
go.
this one says, "Hi guys, about the $2 billion investment. Why is it an issue to do what small African countries have done successfully? Nigeria is a viable market for power billing. So an FDI
right?
Getting an FDI shouldn't be difficult. Our government should rather spend such on their
Politicians. Okay, real quick. That $2 billion again was a rumor. That's a rumor of how much it would cost to meter everybody. But FDI, I mean, people will be nervous about coming in and buying these assets,
Well,
right? Okay.
yeah, you have to think about the fact that who's going to, if as a foreign investor I'm coming to invest to, provide meters to meter the customer units in Nigeria, who is going to pay me?
Right.
Definitely, you're not expecting the individuals that you're metering to pay.
Right.
So, is the government going to be solid on their agreements to pay,
Mm.
or do they have to float a bond like the way they did for the Sukuk bond, especially to take care of the infrastructure
Right.
or the green bond to take care of environmental? Do they have to float a special bond for the metering such that it's backed up, especially dedicated to that project, and then foreign investors would have the assurance that okay, I will be paid because a special bond issuance has been done for this. Maybe we need to do that. It might be something the government may need to again to look rather than just raise euro bonds and bonds and things like that.
Okay.
I want to consider something.
So
like
there's
that.
a lot to do there for foreign investors going to come in. Okay, we've run out of time. And there's still more messages. I'll read your messages tomorrow. Ayodeji, Rainmaker, I think Benga sent another message. Guys, thank you so much.
Yes.
Ayo of Afri Invest, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate your time.
Yeah,
Kayode,
thank you.
Thank you so much, Rotus.
All
All
right.
right, Lagos. Don't forget, coming up your way after this, it's going to be freshly pressed. So please stay close to your radio.
Time just flies.
Sorry.
I know,
Actually,
right?
I actually have to end at 55, but I push it to 58.
Yeah. Okay, cool. As long as you're letting me know, that's fine.
At 6:45 a.m. Quick teller. Every day.